What
Absolutely.
are your thoughts on this game? And do you have some concerns about Dak's turnover rate? K Walk,
So, oh, you
starting with
start
K
with K
Walk.
Walk.
You
Okay,
last.
okay,
You last.
yeah,
Yeah,
K
that's
Walk
good.
finish.
As
I
I might
figured as
steal
much.
some of K Walk's ideas. So, go ahead,
Eh,
Walk.
am I concerned about Dak? No, I mean, like you mentioned, Britt, that wasn't really Dak's fault there. I mean, he put the ball in a position where Noah Brown has to make that catch for sure. That's an NFL receiver. He has to make that catch. It just didn't go. It just didn't go their way there. What I am concerned about though with the Cowboys is that defense. Now, defense, we talked about this a few weeks or a couple of weeks ago about who the best defense was out of our three, whether it be the 49ers, whether it be the Eagles, or whether it be the Cowboys. 34 points to the Jags. That's a lot of points to be given up to any team, especially the Jaguars. I know the Jaguars are playing for something. I know they're in it. They're a game out or 2 games out of getting into the playoffs there and possibly winning a division as well. Keep that in mind. So I'm concerned there first and foremost. That's why I'm concerned at right there. So you got to clean that up. Mike McCarthy as well. He seems to be the same guy. Always we're talking about the Cowboys and what we don't have faith in. So we don't have Mike McCarthy. We don't have faith in Mike McCarthy. So there's the issue where I lie there. But as far as Dak goes, I think Dak did well enough to win the game, man. It's just that defense didn't help him out, man. That defense didn't help him out. Anytime you put 34 points on the board, you should be able to win the game, especially with that defense of the Cowboys. So definitely not concerned about Dak. Just a little bit of the other areas that I'm more concerned about.
Um, Let me see. So Dak was 23 of 30, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The interceptions, it is becoming a little worrisome. I think he has the most interceptions since he returned back from his injury, since he came back from his injury. But I don't think that's the reason why he lost this game.
No.
So, K Walk, I'm with you on this one. I do believe it was because of the defense. But I said last week, I said, I thought Dallas was going to win this game. I said that. But here I also said that the trend for Dallas is not headed in the right direction based on the last 3 games that they played. Yes, they blew the Colts out, but that came in the fourth quarter, like mid part of the fourth quarter. Again, Colts got some issues. We'll get into that later. They struggled a little bit against the Texans, but that offense went on. I was a 98-yard drive to score a touchdown and win that game. This one they should have won. Defense did not hold up. So this is becoming very interesting. When everybody was saying Dallas is, I said, well, wait a minute. Let's continue to see how this trend goes. So hopefully they can revert this, change this around after this weekend. After this weekend. But it's gonna be interesting. But no, I can't blame it on Dak Prescott. He played very pretty good today. Outside of one interception, the second interception, I don't blame him. Although he is the quarterback, he's going to get the blame for it.
Of course.
Noah Brown, he didn't catch that pass, but overall he's been playing pretty great. Tony Pollard, I mean, what can I say? This
Yeah.
He has changed this offense around. This offense is completely different when he takes over at the running back position. But that defense has to step up. Michael Parsons did all that talking. He was worried way too much about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts is not MVP. It's the team, it's the system, yada, yada,
Right.
yada. You
Right.
should have been focused on this Jaguars team and not, underestimate this Jaguars team. Because although this Jaguars team may not be as good right now as, the 49ers, the Eagles, even the Dallas Cowboys, they have a lot of young talent. And they're coming up and they're rising. And Doug Peterson has them playing very well lately, as of late. So, but they're going into this weekend. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. My team, of course, we'll see if Jalen Hurts plays. That's going to be interesting as well. But I have to give, before I turn it over to Jay, I have to give credit to the Jaguars. The Jaguars played lights out. Trevor Lawrence played
Yeah.
his butt off. He really played his butt off. So it was really interesting. But Jay, this is your temporary team. What's your thoughts?
Look, I think Dak is the least thing that I'm worried about with this team. I know he's sort of an easy target when the Cowboys don't win. I don't think we can hang that loss on Dak. And when you look at the interception return for a touchdown at the end, that's not on him at all. I mean, he threw the ball exactly where he wanted to throw it. Receivers got to make that catch. So I'm not worried about Dak at all. I think, if we zoom out on this a little bit and just kind of look at the big picture, the last 2 weeks were not great, right? You struggle to beat the Houston Texans, one of the worst teams in football. Then you come back and lose to a Jaguars team who, the Jaguars remind me a little bit of the Detroit Lions. They're going to give you a good, tough, hard football game every single week. So, but again, that's a game that Dallas should win because to me, as we get to this point in the season, you want to be trending in the right direction, right? And usually we talk about style points in college football, but a little bit now in this tough NFC where we got a bunch of teams kind of jockeying for position, I do think winning with a little bit of style and feeling good as we get closer to the playoffs is important. So that does concern me a little bit about the Cowboys. You guys mentioned the defense. But I think if you look at it, they've still won 4 out of their last 5. Okay, Walk, at the beginning of this thing, you said you thought they could go 13-4.
Yes, sir.
They went out. They're still able to do that. So
Right.
I feel like everything is still in front of the Cowboys, so no need to push the panic button. But Britt, you brought up Micah Parsons, and I've been kind of watching him a little bit with some of these interviews, with some of the things that he's saying. It's turning me off a little bit. I feel like he might be feeling himself a little too much. Look, Micah is still a very young player in the league. Yes, you've had some success, but you're playing against the best football players in the world. I feel like he might be getting ahead of himself a little bit. Take care of your business on the field. Stop talking so much because I just think it puts too much pressure on yourself. So, yeah, not a good weekend for the Cowboys, obviously, but everything's still in front of them. They come out and beat Philadelphia this weekend. You're right back on track. So I'm going to not push the panic button yet, but there are definitely some concerns for sure.
Yeah, look, Dak to me, he did play decent this game. I don't know if I would say I wouldn't be concerned about him because there's been since he came back, there's been games where you're looking like, I think the defense bailed you out here. I think the defense bailed you out. Unfortunately, the defense didn't play well this past game. He tried to bail the defense out this game, but just didn't work. I will give him that. But as far as Michael Parsons, I do like what you said because, like I said, I've been a Michael Parsons fan since he was at Penn State. So I love Michael Parsons' game. But it does seem like his focus is a little elsewhere right now. And it needs to be on the team. It needs to be on his team on the next game that they're playing, which, this week will be my Philadelphia Eagles, not looking ahead to the Titans or not looking ahead to whoever, else is there focus. But I will say Von Miller set him up just a little bit. He kind of took the bait.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, Jay, he's a young player. So hopefully, he matures a little bit and that comes with time. But he is still a talented player. But K-Walk, do you have any thoughts on Michael Parsons and anything that he may have said?
Yeah, just it's pretty much what Jay said. You gotta understand, like, you got to focus on you can't take the bait to piggyback off of what you said, Britt. You can't take the bait because a lot of these guys are vets and they know how to play the game, not just on the field, but off the field. Especially in this day and age with the social media the way it is, and you said one tweet or one meme. Not everybody's, we're gonna play that, play that role, that role, if you will. And he took the bait. I mean, and that's what it's about. And but it's one thing, we always said, Jay, in 90, we talked the talk. In 91, we walked the walk. So it's one thing to talk it. It's another thing to walk it. So, if you're going to sit there and say what you said about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, then you got to back it up against the, against the Jags and certainly against the Texans as well. So yeah, Micah I think he learned his lesson. I think he realized what it is. You just talk softly and walk with a big stick. That's what he has to learn to do. And Jay mentioned he's a young guy, and I think he's going to learn, how to play the game and how to approach the game and every single aspect of the of it in every way. I mean, just on the field, off the field, with the media, and even with social media as well.